Allen has a very different conflict resolution style. So we have conflicts. I mean, we're going through a very different change right now. You know, we just announced a realignment of the company last week. So Allen and I redesigned the company so that we're moving more and more into new technology. It's a different kind of sales approach, a different kind of marketing approach, very different systems. So we've had to realign into two different divisions, if you will, two different structures. There's a lot of infighting as we do that. Add on to that, I've been the president for only 6 months. You know, this guy comes in, he's changing everything. So we have plenty of conflict right now. And every organization does. Allen's style of handling conflict is he takes a more backdoor approach. So he will go and meet individually with everyone that's in the organization that's having this conflict. And basically, it's an impassioned plea, right? There's 4 classic styles of communication: ethos, logos, pathos. Well, those are the 3: egos, logos, and pathos. Logos it's the logical thing to do, and you try to persuade people to avoid conflict through logical argument. We have to do this because the government's got a new regulation, and we'll be shut down if we don't. Pathos is more empathic. So you're trying that you have a new vision for the organization, and you're trying to persuade people that they've got to get in line with this new vision because all these new opportunities come in. And the last one is really more of mandating. You know, look, we got to do it. It's the only way to get this done. We've got the vision. We know how to do it, so we have to follow us. Allen tends to be more of the empathic leader. You know, he goes in, he sits down with people, he reasons with people, he tries to get them to see this as part of an evolutionary path, and he will spend literally months doing that. If that's what it takes, he would rather do that way. He doesn't go into things very directly. That's just not his style. But he has the privilege of knowing folks for 26 years, and so they're family to him. So this is like sitting down with his spouse or with his kids and saying, look, this is the way things have to go. What is your issue with this? And so he really can interact with them that way. I don't have the privilege of that kind of background. So I tend to be more of the passionate leader. So guys, look, this is what we're trying to do. I tend to be organic on conflict. So if we've got 1 or 2 people who have different opposite views or something and they're really in conflict, I tend to work them through a process of understanding how one impacts the other. I try to work with them. I have different processes I use to come up with resolution. So I tend to be more process and logic driven than Allen does. And actually we're finding out those styles kind of complement each other. So he and I will sit down on major conflicts, which, you know, he'll start his approach first, and I'll come in with mine second. That's basically what we do. We really do have this kind of tag team approach.
So, does Rubberlight use any kind of people-centered practices, like for hiring and find a PE fit? And then, I guess you kind of already touched on generous pay for performance.
Yeah, I mean our hiring process here, we're very people-centric. So, you know, the number one thing we look for is, do people